What is up, Algebra 1? This is example 4. This is our first quadratic equation problem. Okay, so we're going to do this from start to finish. The first thing you want to do is make sure that our quadratic is in standard form, which it is. We got our x squared first, our x second, and our constant last. Okay, so first step, identify our a, our b, and our c. In this problem, our a is 2. Our b value is -10, and our c value is -12. Okay, so that's our first thing we want to do. We want to identify a, b, and c. These are what we use in our quadratic formula. Next, we're going to plug a, b, and c into our quadratic formula below. So a great way to do this, like the discriminant, is we're going to rewrite this whole thing. Wherever we see an a, b, or c, we're going to put parentheses. So I have x equals -b, put in parentheses, plus or minus the square root of b, so put in parentheses, squared, minus 4, parentheses, all over 2 times our a value, parentheses. So I rewrote my quadratic formula over here and left parentheses and space to plug in my a, my b, and my c. So the first thing I'm going to do is I see a b here and I see a b here. So I'm going to plug in -10 into both of those spots. -10, -10. Okay, I have an a here and an a here. So I'm going to plug in my 2 and my 2. And finally, I have my c value here at the end, -12. Okay, so I've plugged in a, b, and c into the quadratic formula. We're done with that. Next, we want to simplify the discriminant. So the discriminant is everything that's underneath the square root. I'll highlight it for you. This is our discriminant. Everything under the square root. Okay, and we're going to do this in our calculator. So let's pull up Desmos. Everything inside of my square root, I'm going to type in without the square root. -10 squared minus 4 times 2 times -12. After plugging all of that in, I get 196. So off to the side, I'm going to write D equals 196, and I'm even going to draw a little arrow so I know that's the discriminant on the inside. If we had a square root, we need to simplify it. So let's do some cleanup. So I'm going to have x equals negative times -10. What do you think that's going to be? There's like a 1 here. -1 times -10 is +10. We have plus or minus. This whole highlighted area turns into 196. Square root of 196. All over 2 times 2, which is just 4. Okay, so next, let's simplify the square root. So we need to simplify the square root of 196. So we're going to go take a look at our perfect square list from that past video. When I go take a look at this, here's 196. It's already a perfect square. The square root of 196 is 14. So this whole square root is just going to simplify to 14. Okay, so we need to do some more cleanup, and our simplifying the square root is done. So I'm left with x equals 10 plus or minus 14 all divided by 4. So this is almost done. We just need to simplify the top and bottom as much as possible. So this is going to split into two separate little problems. Okay. So this is what a plus and minus means. We're going to split this into 10 plus 14 over 4 and 10 minus 14 over 4. And we're going to figure out what each of these equal. And we're going to use Desmos to help us out. So first, I'm going to type in all on the top of a fraction. So in parentheses, 10 plus 14, all divided by 4. I get 6. And the reason I'm doing parentheses, if I write 10 minus 14 and do my divide, I'm only dividing the 14. So if I put it in parentheses, 10 minus 14 divided by 4, I get everything divided by 4. So my two answers are 6 and negative 1. 6 and negative 1. So my answer is x equals 6 and negative 1. And that is our very first quadratic formula problem. Okay, again, the steps we walked through were we identified A, B, C. We plugged them in. Then we did the discriminant. That's this highlighted part. We simplified it in our calculator and rewrote it on the inside. We also made sure we simplified the negative 1 times negative 10, and we multiplied 2 times 2 for the bottom. Okay, then we went and checked our perfect square list and simplified the square root of 196 to be just 14. We rewrote it. We split it into plus and minus, and we put both in our calculators to get our two answers. All right, Algebra 1, first problem done.